Welcome to the SportsBros Podcast, featuring the almighty B-Live, the money man Scotty D, and your host, the head of creative Eddie Cool. The SportsBros Podcast, by the fan, for the fan, talking sports just the way you like it. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the SportsBros. Well, it's Tuesday, and if you voted, good for you. And if you didn't, good for you as well, too. You do what you want to do. It's your life. Hey, do you, boo-boo. With that being said, it's been another episode of your favorite sports podcast, none other than the SportsBros Podcast. I go by the name of the HOC, Eddie Cool, and I'm the head of creative here at SportsBros Podcast. Real quick, anyone within the sound of my voice, your boy's looking for a morning job because I need a morning job. And if it's available, if it's feasible with my schedule, let me know. Let me know. But other than that, welcome. It's Tuesday. A little unseasonably warm up here in Northeast Ohio, but it is what it is. I'm happy. 2 of my 3 teams won. There's one of the teams that won, and the other team won as well, too. We'll talk about that later. But of course, you know I can't do this by myself. I tried. It just ain't as fun. Not only do I have one, but I have 2 of the best coaches in the world. Introducing first from the shared studios, coming to you live from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He is the almighty B-Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? You know one thing that's going on in the world today right now?
What's that?
The Dallas Cowboys have by far the most expensive injury report I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wow.
By far. Like, do they have like they should have close to, if not more than $100 million on their injury report right now? Well, I know their contract extensions go into next season. They start next season, but I just like to use those dollar figures right now. That's a lot of money that's injured right now, and they continue to fall further and further down. You know why I say this? Because I love misery, and misery loves company. And on top of that, my misery was just a little bit less this week because, as Eddie Cool mentioned, 2 of my favorite teams won. 2 of my 3 favorite teams won. One of them lost. It's okay. It's all right. But I think all of Scotty D's teams lost. I think every one of them. Every single one of them. Yankees lost in the World Series. Did the Lakers win something? Or have they been losing? I think they've been losing too. And add the aforementioned Dallas Cowboys with the most expensive injury report of all time. Did I get it? Did I cover all the misery for Scotty D? Because according to him, I'm not a very good friend.
Chris Winky.
Good old Chris Wanky.
That's how you feel?
Chris Winky.
Chris Winky. We didn't pay Chris Winky $60 million a year, $231 million guaranteed. Oh, Dak Winky over here. Oh yeah. Just saying. You're stuck with him for 4 more years.
You just cut into your Be Live top 5 time with that long soliloquy.
No,
Introduce me. Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
We got plenty of time for that. Because my Be Live not top 5. I keep it going with more of Scotty D's misery. But go ahead and introduce the other guy. Let him talk about something. He runs nothing here.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the other guy. He has a bat in his hand, united we stand with his country. He is the pride of WASHINGTO Pennsylvania, the one, the only, the money man, Scotty D. I thought I was going to mess up spelling that.
Nothing lasts forever, even cold November rain. I don't care. I'm not a Cowboy fan anymore. I don't care. I don't care.
No.
I don't care.
You're not allowed to get away with that. No.
Jarrell ran me off.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, by saying something stupid twice weekly now.
What did he do this time?
What did he say now? We heard what he did the other week.
His latest was that he couldn't have foreseen this kind of disappointment. He's really surprised that the team is struggling this bad. All that whatever that nonsense was he spewed the other day. How do you not foresee it? You let players leave and didn't replace them. You had a coach that had a team completely unprepared in a home playoff game, and you brought him back. How do you not know that this kind of stuff is coming? It was right there in front of you. Good players leaving. We're going to go all in. We don't replace them. Instead, we sign a short half-sized middle linebacker. That was the big signing. I don't even know his name because he's never around the ball. We signed Zeke. Yeah, so and Zeke didn't get to go to the game on Sunday. Zeke didn't even get to go. He wasn't allowed to go.
Injured. He was disciplinary.
He wasn't allowed. Yeah, he wasn't allowed to go. That's your big offseason signing. Wasn't allowed to go to the game. Zeke. And now you got now Dak is hurt. And it won't be noticeable because they were losing with him because he's terrible. And part of the reason he's more terrible than usual is because there is no running game. Signed Terrence Steele to a big contract, and the opposing defenders passed him every week into the backfield.
Pew!
Yeah,
how's that one song go? Rush, rush.
Paula Abdul
Nothing lasts forever, even cold November rain.
That's right. This is the first episode of the month of November, which means my birthday is in a few days. I'll be accepting gifts. I'll be accepting gifts all week, all month. I will be in South Carolina for Thanksgiving. So if anybody feels obliged to take your boy out, B-Lab's coming too. Let us know. Let us know, and we're gonna have some fun. All right, before you two kill each other, let's go ahead and hop right into it. The top of the order.
Anthony Richardson.
Oh, three. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Week 8 of the National Football League. Fellas, it just seems like this season is flying by so fast. Like last Friday, I damn near got in trouble at work, but don't nobody want to hear about my shit in that job. And I'm not going to edit that out. I'm going to leave it in there. Nobody want to hear about that bullshit. But what we do want to hear about is what's going on in the National Football League. With that being said, so with week 8, let's do this. Let's hand out some midterm grades because since this is the
I feel like it's week 9.
Is it week 9?
I feel like it's after week 9. Yeah, it's week 9.
Yeah. Week 8 going into week 9. Let's give some teams some grades, shall we? We be the teachers, we be the prognosticators, and let them know if they pass or fail. All right, fellas. So all 3 of us will choose a team, and we'll give them a grade from an A or an F. Then we get to choose our mid-season MVP. But first, let's do some game balls, shall we? You guys want to do some game balls?
Throw some things out there, sure.
Okay, you want to do some game balls. And with that being said, Scotty D, who you got a game ball going to this week?
I think I'm going to have to give mine this week to Joe Burrow. And I know they were playing a not super Las Vegas team, but Joe Burrow threw for 251 and 5 touchdowns. That's a big healthy number. That's a large number. 5 touchdowns. Look good doing it. And again, they dashed up the Raiders pretty good. Chase Brown rushed for 120 yards, but I gotta go with Burrow just for the 5 touchdown number is my game ball of the week. Be live. Who you got?
This is going to be somewhat one-sided because I just like watching what he does on the field. My game ball goes to Lamar Jackson. Just as cool as the other side of the pillow, cool as a cucumber. 16 for 19 for 280 yards, 3 touchdowns. The man does it all. I've never seen a Ravens offense this balanced, and it just has a little I feel like they're one little adjustment away from just running the table and giving that undefeated Kansas City team a run for their money. I think that I honestly believe they're the best team in the AFC. I want to give Lamar Jackson the game ball. Trying to think though. You said we were also going to give away some grades as well. So I'm gonna give some grades in a second, but I want to finish with that. Eddie Cool, who are you giving the game ball to?
You know what? I'm gonna give a game ball to Garrett Wilson of the New York Football Jets. I mean, he just showed up and showed out Thursday night. Because you know how we feel about them Thursday night games. Like, oh Lord, here we go. It's a clunker. So they want to beat the Texans at home in New York, New Jersey, 21-13. If they wind up beating them 21-13, they look good. I'm not gonna lie about that. So let's take a little quick peek at Garrett Wilson's stats real quick, shall we?
He had an incredible catch that
Yes.
was out of sight. The jump man catch, which
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if it should have counted. They were saying his shin was in before his knee hit the ground. I don't know. I don't know about that, but it counted, and it was. I mean, he still caught it, no matter if he would have caught it on the 50-yard line in the end zone in the locker room, wherever he caught that ball. That was sweet.
Yep, he made 9 catches for 90 yards, averaging 10 yards per catch with 2 touchdowns and 2 great, phenomenal acrobatic catches. Devontae Adams, he also had a great game as well. 7 yards, 7 receptions, 91 yards and 1 touchdown. So, yeah, could the Jets be making a climb back and back? Oh, wait a minute, wait. You know, and like Devontae Adams said, Rome wasn't built in a day. It was built brick by brick. But you know, I think this could be the spark that the Jets needed 3-6 to kind of, if not go to the playoffs, at least kind of do something about their draft position at least. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers went 22 for 32, 211 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, looking like the Aaron Rodgers of old. All right.
Can I also dish out a bonus game ball on behalf of all three of us?
Okay.
Because I think we all should chuck in a game ball for Saquon Barkley for a reverse hurdle. I've never seen anything like that before.
That was insanity.
Backwards. He jumped backwards over a guy. I mean, it always looks cool when somebody jumps over, dude. This dude did it backwards, and that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And even though he's an Eagle and I can't root for him, that was pretty cool.
Because we're all wrestling fans. He hit him with that Kofi Kingston and hit him with that Naomi. That was that Kofi Kingston backwards hurdle. That move set. You got Madden programmers right now trying to figure out how to put that in the game.
It's in there now. It's probably in there now. It's in there now.
There's a lot of glitches in Madden, so I don't need them to be trying to do too much. He'll be done hurdle through the goalposts or some mess like that. They keep messing around trying to tweak stuff. But man, yes, I am very glad that you mentioned that. Also, I forgot to mention the most important part about Lamar Jackson's performance this past weekend. Perfect passer rating. 158.3, the 4th time he's done it in his career, and he's done it faster, much faster than any other quarterback in history to have his 4th perfect passer rating, but he can't pass. Y'all gonna stop y'all gonna stop talk about my boy like that. I think Lamar Jackson is about to win his 3rd MVP. I don't see any reason why not. Just saying. Can anyone pick a better quarterback in the league right now?
No one's really like
Cooper Rush.
Lord Jesus Cooper Rush.
Oh, the sadness that comes from the Arlington, Dallas, Fort Worth area. I love it.
Patrick Mahomes.
He is having a terrible year. They're just happen to be undefeated.
He's still the best quarterback in the league.
He is though. You can't doubt that. But hey, like sometimes you have those.
He's the most successful quarterback that we have active in the league right now. He is not the best quarterback right now. He's the most successful There's a difference.
And the guy that was the hurdle, aka the other end of Saquon Barkley's hurdle, his name
Mm.
is Jarian Jones. Jarian
Damn,
Jones. I'm pretty
damn.
sure he'll be the butt of jokes, but if I'm you, Jarian Jones, stay your ass off social media. But
Not the butt.
I made him funny. Wouldn't even try to do it.
It's too close to the name Jerry Jones.
See what I mean? It's a traumatic experience. It's a traumatic feeling. All right, moving right along, fellas. Let's give some teams some grades. With that being said, Scotty D, who's getting an A and who's getting an Earth?
I'm giving an A to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay,
Ooh.
Well, they haven't lost,
they haven't.
so you can't be better than that unless they lost last night to the Buccaneers, which if they did, I don't know about it yet. So I just gotta go with the team that looks the best to me overall. Even when they're not playing their best, they pull out wins. They just know how to win. That goes to show you, and you have truly great professionals and great coaching. And the team I'm giving an F to is going to be the Jets. I know they have the big win on Thursday night, and that made me want to kind of shy away from it. Maybe I'll give them a D minus, but nothing that has gone their way this year. They've looked awful. Aaron Rodgers, I've mentioned before, he looks like he's old. They fired their coach in Europe, not even in the middle of the season, at the beginning of the season. Just they've been a dumpster fire. Now Eddie, you mentioned that win could build for them. Yeah, maybe it could. If they are going to, that's a pretty good win to have. They still have a long way to go, but so far I think they're the D minus game. I'm only doing that because of that win against the Jets. B-Live, A's and F's. Who you got?
All right. Well, some teams it's almost obvious. They already get A's. Your Detroit Lions, your Kansas City Chiefs, your Buffalo Bills. Those are obvious. So the one I want to focus on that is sneakily underneath the radar. How about the Los Angeles Chargers?
Yeah.
5-3, and if they had an inkling of one more offensive threat, whether it be the part of the running game or another wide receiver, they would do damage because guess what they're doing? They are shutting down teams on the defensive end. Like the Chargers
So wouldn't that make him a
after
B? Because it's not quite a pure performance, but it's pretty good performance.
Well, B Live, are you going
A minus.
B Live?
A minus.
Are you going based off of? Is it a combination of where we put them at the beginning of the season and what you've seen so far up to this point? Is it kind of like a combination of that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that because I saw no hope whatsoever,
Mhm.
and I got to give Jim Harbaugh props because he took what was given to him and emphasized it. Like they don't have much of an offense, and that was already be given. So he said, "Hey, you guys on this side of the ball, stop everything." You know they've played 8 games and have only allowed 101 points.
Yep, I'm looking at it right now.
That's insane. And that defense wins championships. Do I think the Chargers are going to win it all? They got to score something. But they're going to surprise some teams and let them get to that next level. Let them get to the playoffs, and where they've had playoff shortcomings, I think their defense holds them into a couple of games because everything changes in the postseason. Now, on the F side of things, teams that have completely failed. I think more than anything, when it comes to your team, when it comes to teams and how they play and where they play, et cetera, you have to win something at home for your home fan. Give the home fans something. And there's 2 teams in the NFL that have not won a single game at home. One being the New York Football Giants, and the other one being Scotty D's very own Dallas Cowboys. That $1 billion stadium, 90+ 100,000 people that pack up into that place, and the Dallas Cowboys paying all that money cannot win a single game at home. F
No
F
argument there.
F. It just
Oof.
Yeah.
failure.
And losing convincingly at home and losing to the Saints, who didn't they fire their coach already too?
They
Yes, they
sure
did.
did.
So
Yeah.
Courtesy of you know who?
The Carolina Panthers, baby. Get your
yeah.
ass out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
We send that boy packing, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's like this.
And
Hey, it's like this. Hey, we may be bad, but yeah, come and play us, lose to us, be the shape of your organization, and get your coach's ass fired. That's our role this season. We're looking to get
and
your
we
coach
and,
fired.
and we got that elusive home win. It's a beautiful
Yes.
thing because we only got one. We got one more than the Cowboys do. 7 straight losses from the Saints. They are D minus, by the way. They were close to an F, but you
Yeah.
got to win a game at home. Giants, Cowboys. Yee.
Who you got, Eddie Cool? Who's getting an A?
This might be a surprise because, as I mentioned before, these are one of a few teams in the American Football Conference that was like, nah, ain't gonna happen. The Pittsburgh Steelers get an A, just an
I
A.
agree. I agree. I agree.
Because the Pittsburgh Steelers have overcome off-season adversity, in-season adversity. Is Mike Tomlin on the way out? Has he lost the locker room? Is the locker room split? Is the locker room divided? Yo, it ain't. They've only lost 2 games this season. They've lost at the Colts, and then they lost at home to Dallas. Since them losing the game to Dallas, they've won 3 straight. And they had they had a quarterback controversy and they changed up a little bit. Well, in Russell Wilson's last few games, he passed for 264 yards and 278 yards, 264 versus the Giants. I'm sorry, 278 versus the Giants, 264 versus the Jets. And I'm pretty sure people are like, oh man, that's the Giants and the Jets. Well, look, they made the schedule. You got to play who's in front of you, right? You have to play who the hell is in front of you. With that being said, Pittsburgh looks to be trending up because Najee Harris, the last few games, rushing yard totals of 106, 102, and 114. And as far as receiving, we got George Pickens at 74, 54, and 53. But yet still, man, Pittsburgh Steelers, they find a way to win. It's been a dogfight. I think they haven't even allowed over 20 points per game in these first 9 weeks of the season. But like you said, Scotty D, the true test is going to come that bottom half of the season, last quarter of the season when they play Philly, Baltimore, KC, and Cincinnati.
But they look more equipped for it now than I was expecting to, because Russell Wilson's kind of slid in right and picked things up. He's improved the team that was already playing well, so they look more equipped for it than I predicted they would not go over 500 this year. And we'll see.
That's what
We'll
I was
see.
going to say, that because they took care of what they were supposed to when
Yeah.
being 6-2 after their first 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Now there's a couple things we didn't factor, because I agree with you with that gauntlet that they're about to go through. We didn't factor in the Commanders being that good.
Ooh, we
Now
sure
they're part of
didn't.
that. Now they're part of that gauntlet. That's the next game they got coming up is against the Commanders. That's going to be a game to see. Then the Ravens. Now here's the thing: the Browns are not who we thought they were, and we just. I mean, we ain't even worried about them anymore.
Nope.
Bengals can still put some but they're not as strong as we once thought they were. But yeah, Commanders, Ravens, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals twice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they got
they
some tough games coming up. But like I said, they put themselves in position by, if they win 3 of those games, they'll probably go to the playoffs.
right.
Yeah, you're right about that. And the F game, the New Orleans Saints, they've pretty much given up on the season. They folded up like a cheap tent. You got former wide receiver Michael Thomas online talking trash. Let me tell y'all something, man. For those of you that's online talking trash, get a job. Get a damn job. Go find something to do instead of being a bitter old washed up ass wide receiver talking junk. Well, he threw that ball and he caused Chris Olave to get hit in the head. It's called football. Michael Thomas can't guard Mike, can't stay healthy. Yeah, I said it. Show this to him. I know I'm
Right.
260 pounds and I might be overweight, but still, bro, you at home chirping. You at home chirping. Oh, let's see. There's some teams looking for wide receivers. Who they not looking for? You, Michael Thomas. You. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. When it comes to the Saints, the Aints, Tony Bogan, I'm sorry. Anthony Wilson, I'm sorry, but your team suck, fellas. They suck this year. They lost to us. We beat them. Yeah, they hung a 40 burger on us, but revenge is so sweet. Bum, bum, bum. So yeah, the whole organization's in shambles. Cameron Jordan said, "You know what, guys? I'm sorry. Y'all deserve better." Even an offensive tackle said, "Hell, put me back there at quarterback. I'll play." You got Taysom Hill. We still don't know his positional orientation. We don't know what the hell he got going on. So you're a mess. And New Orleans does deserve better. Yeah, life after Drew Brees is bad after all. Miserable for y'all, but great for the rest of us. Yes. So my A goes to the Steelers, and my Earth goes to the Saints. What you got to say, Be Laugh?
Oh, I just got to say that Sean Payton is doing better with his new team in Denver than the Saints are doing. Just with Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Oh man! And I was going to say this on top of that: if a team had to choose between Michael Thomas and Antonio Brown right now, they might pick Antonio Brown, and that's not just not Michael Thomas. You might just soon just this man.
Eddie, you surprised me. I was positive you were going to give your F to the Cleveland Browns.
This is usual. This is this is per
They,
usual. This is
but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's certain Fs out there that are just they're Fs.
yeah.
Like the Carolina Panthers, despite them winning against the Saints, that's still an F. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
those go without saying.
I didn't think Cleveland was going to be that completely miserable.
True, but
I thought they were going to. I thought they had a chance to. Well, I didn't think they were going to win their division. I thought they were going to finish third, and they are
we
terribly.
changed our tone about the Saints after the first two games.
We sure
Yeah,
did.
I bought them.
Yeah.
And dang, can't get right.
Between
Oh
the,
man, oh man.
yeah, between the Shaheed injury, it's just because I said, damn boy, New Orleans might mess around and be a threat. They hung 40 on us, hung 40 on Dallas. I forgot what they did the following week. Once they lose with Rashid Shaheed, it just went down the tank after that. It just went
The
straight
bottom
down.
fell out.
I mean, it fell out bad. They had Spencer Rattler in there, and the other quarterback that took his picture with his booty tooted out. I don't know what his name is, Jake something or other. Yeah, it
A
is not.
Hainer.
Yeah, Jake Hayner. Yeah, a Hayner in my ass, a pain in my ass, if you will. Yeah, so it's just yeah, rough, bad, and crazy for New Orleans Saints. Mid-season MVP, fella. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep this show rolling. Scotty, I'm sorry, Be Live. You're right. It was week 9, going into week 10. Mid-season MVP, Scotty D. Who you got?
You know, I think this is a case of a 2-horse race being on the same team splitting the vote, and I'm talking about Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And because of that, I'm going to say they're going to split the vote, and the guy I'm going to pick is going to be Jared Goff because he's leading the team that looks the strongest in the NFC. He's thrown 4 interceptions. He had a game where he didn't throw an incomplete pass. And he's not the most dynamic player, but he's the leader of that team that's taking care of the ball and making things go for the Lions. And that's a really, really good football team. So I'm going to kind of sneak Jared Goff through there. With all due respect to Lamar, Josh Allen, and Derrick Henry. Be Live, who you got?
That's a good choice, Scotty D. That's a good choice.
I like it. I'm still sticking with Lamar Jackson, but honorable mention. I know this is crazy to say, but shout out to my man Joey Buckets, Jaden Daniels. He's already pretty much won Rookie of the Year. But I think he's going to get.
They say it's a lose at this point.
I was saying, I think he's going to get a few MVP votes. Lamar Jackson is going to win it, unless the bottom falls out. But midseason right now, Lamar Jackson. But I'm giving an honorable mention to Jaden Daniels. Eddie Koo, what say you?
I'm gonna have to go with you, Scotty D, man. Jared Goff. Jared Goff has been perfection. Either he's been perfection or he's flirted with it throughout the season. The Lions are riding high. They just beat Green Bay in Lambeau again. So Yeah, and they lead the division. They beat Minnesota a few weeks ago to take the league of the division. So I'm gonna have to get to Jared Goff, man, because the Lions are clicking. If the 49ers don't get healthy soon, I think the Lions gonna go ahead and take the NFC. Right. Honorable mention. Well, actually, this ain't got nothing to do with MVP, but I'll say it like this: if he guides his team to the playoffs, I'm going to give him an award. And I was a little bit, I was not buying the team at first at all, even when it was undefeated. I'm going to have to say Sam Darnold of the Minnesota Vikings is an early candidate, an early favorite for comeback player of the year because we've seen his story up close and personal. All right. And so if he takes them to the playoffs, um, that award is his to lose. All right. And
Ironically, B Live, you know who you chose as your preseason MVP?
who?
B Live chose Jared Goff.
Well,
The same.
Yeah.
I do not, like I said, I do not discount your pick at all. I think he's very capable of winning MVP as well. Right now, though, it's just Lamar Jackson just doing what Lamar Jackson does.
Yeah,
But
I think Lamar Jackson probably is the favorite to win it. I was just trying to think outside the box a little bit, and I know that him and Derrick Henry, and you can make a case for
oh yeah,
Derrick Henry the way he's already over 1,000 yards.
absolutely.
So that
But the
was
thing about it is,
my reason going on that one.
you can make but you can still make a case for Jared Goff. That's not really thinking
Yeah.
outside the box. Yeah, I'm 100% behind that. These are definitely like you go in with a preconceived thought and notion just by name recognition alone. You when you go into the season, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, yes, as a multiple MVP. But you don't think of the Jared Goff. That's why I like thinking outside the box. You can
Yeah.
make that argument right now. So,
And your rookie of the year, you chose preseason you chose Jaden Daniels. I chose Bo Nix, who had a touchdown catch on Sunday, and Eddie Cool chose Marvin Harris.
yeah, Marvin Harrison was my pick for rookie of the year, but I might have a change of heart, so you never know. With that being said, Be Live, thank you for the clarification and the clerical error correction for earlier. Week 9 going into week 10. I don't know where the hell that came from, but nevertheless, that ain't that's neither here nor there. Coming up next, the Be Live Top 5, right here on Sports Bros Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, auditors, tax preparers, people that use augers. You probably don't know what the hell the auger is. Gym rats, Pikachus, and horses. This is the Be Live Top 5.
oh my precious, my precious. That's my segment. I love it. I enjoy it very much so. And we are getting into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Because this coming Tuesday before, after our podcast episode drops, the college football playoff will bring out their first rankings of the year. And we will get to see how much they shake up things when it comes to the rankings. Me, I like to shake up things in my own right. And this is where I come with the Be Live Top 5. And I'm just going to go right into the top 5. Number 5. Are you ready for this one? Indiana.
Oh.
Put some respect on their name. 9-0. They've been quietly, peacefully making their way through the Big Ten. 56-7 against Nebraska.
What was the score? Give me that. What was it again?
56-7 against Nebraska.
God.
Indiana's here to play. They're 9-0. They've only got 3 more games left. One of them being against the Ohio State Buckeyes. That could tell the entire tale. Could they pull off this victory? Can they make magic happen? Indiana, I'm putting you in my top 5. Don't disappoint. Number 4 is, it's pretty much been the same. Number 4 goes to the Texas Longhorns. Number 3 goes to the Miami Hurricanes. Number 2 goes to the Georgia Bulldogs. Number 1 goes to the Oregon Ducks. Nothing much has changed there, but I want to emphasize number 5 being Indiana because Indiana, Ohio State could determine the Big Ten, get that automatic bid, and then the other team could end up making the playoff as an at-large bid coming from the Big Ten. We shall see. Now, woo, this one it cuts deep. It cuts deep because the Be Live not top 5 includes a team that I'm a yeah, they screwed the pooch. I'm gonna start at number 5. Scotty D, sorry, I have to do it. But your Pitt Panthers did not show up against SMU.
Ooh, the Stangs, the
That
Mustangs.
was that I was watching that game and it hurt to watch.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
It was not good at all. I thought that the Fighting Narduzes what they were gonna come with it, and
So to get in the not top 5, you just have to lose. Lose one time. Is that how it goes?
no. It's the way that you lose. I mean, if they'd have lost by 3 points, they wouldn't have been overrated. But
They weren't
lost.
overrated anyway. They were undefeated. They were ranked 18th. They were 7.5-point underdogs. They weren't overrated. They were
Yeah, they were 7.5
rated.
point underdogs, and they lost by 23.
Well, my
They
point
didn't show
is
up.
that they weren't exactly they weren't the favorite. It wasn't like everyone's tripping over themselves to get Pitt in the top 10 and
Like that's what I get that. If they'd have lost by 3, if they'd have lost by 7, they'd have never made it in my list. But 23, so it's one of those things because guess what? I don't have Penn State on this list, even though they were the higher seed. They only lost by a touchdown. There's levels to this, you know. Does that explain it a little bit better?
no.
Okay,
Okay.
fine. All right,
Okay, good.
moving on to number 4. Iowa State. Iowa State. See what had happened was
Mm.
1 point loss to an undefeated team. You're ranked number 11th in the nation. Yeah, not a good look. Texas Tech is not that bad of a team.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, see, you can't really just lose to an unranked team, which leads me to my next disappointment. Kansas State. Number 3. Kansas State. Because I believe you've been on here 2 weeks in a row because you lost to a 1-win Kansas last week, and now you're losing to Houston unranked. Yeah, you're gonna stay on this list because you got a losing streak as a ranked team. Not a good look.
Mm-mm.
Oh, number 2. I don't like shut up. And he just yes. Number 2, the Clemson Tigers.
Oh, I thought it was gonna
You
be my bad. I got my people. Go ahead.
no
Go ahead.
no no you don't that's why I'm saying number 2 is the Clemson Tigers because at home night game, all the noise, and you play so poorly that our fans leave in the middle of the third quarter.
Mm-mm.
But they lost to a good team though. That's I don't know.
But they were ranked 11th in the country.
Who they lose against?
They lost to Louisville, unranked Louisville. Now Louisville has been ranked for the majority of the season, but they were 4-3. They're now 5-3. They played Miami tough, and Miami eventually freaking had a horseshoe up their ass and managed to win that one. Louisville is a good team, but you can't make excuses for some of the dumb crap that I saw from Clemson sideline. It was bad. Like we were down by 13 points I'm after a touchdown score, and we still only kick the extra point. As much as I do not like analytics, go for two. Make it a touchdown and a field goal as opposed to a touchdown, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, it looked like that the coaching staff gave up. And in turn, the fans gave up. And in turn, the onside kick that we recovered, that the refs gave up on. And so therefore the fans started throwing stuff on the field, which Clemson doesn't do. But it was ugly. It was very, very ugly.
Who's number one, Be Live?
Number one for most overrated, ranked number 10 in the country, lost by 24 points. The Texas A&M Aggies. Gig 'em. Texas A&M, what you should never, ever do, and I mean ever, is go to the state capitol and lose and taunt your opponent the day prior and have a whole rally at the state capitol in Columbia and get mollywopped. It wasn't even close.
Mollywopped is definitely a word that's not used enough. That's a good word.
Mollywopped. They got spanked, destroyed. Now the Gamecocks have all of this momentum, all of this confidence. They got their chest out.
Be Live, say it again. That sounded so great. Say it again. Do it again.
That shit ain't ever happening again. Shit. Hell no. But dang, that's all I've had to hear. I mean, they done dusted off a meme that I ain't seen in forever. When Gamecocks win and Clemson loses, it's a great day. I ain't seen that in 2 years. And then before that, I ain't never seen that. Well, a day where Clemson loses and the Gamecocks win. Jeez, they've only done it against the head-to-head. They've only done it once in the past 10 years. That meme had dust on it. Texas A&M, I be damned. I almost put Clemson number one, but man, no. Texas A&M, y'all were atop of the SEC. Y'all were the best team in the SEC going in this week. It was supposed to be Texas versus Texas A&M, the last game of the season, to determine it all. Now everything's just thrown out of whack. So, yeah, A&M don't do it no more. Scotty D, go ahead.
What you got, Scotty D?
Florida State's 1-8, so they're in my not top five. They lost to North Carolina 35-11. And I don't like when teams score 11. That's a dumb number for football. So they're my not top five. I moved up in the rankings. I got UAB. They beat Tulsa 59-21, and 59 points is a ton of points. And Ole Miss scored 63, so they're back up to my number one team again. So.
Who they play?
Who did they play?
The Presbyterian Pale Hose. No, who they play?
They played. It's on the top of my brain.
Arkansas.
Yeah. 63 points. If you score 50, that's a lot of points. They scored 13 more than that.
Oh, Miami scored 53. Boise State and was it Alshon Gentry?
Yeah, Ashton Genty. Yeah,
Ashton Genty. So him or Travis Hunter should win the Heisman. This is the year that a quarterback does not win it.
Think so?
It's got to be Travis Hunter, or what? Ashton Genty. It has to be.
What about the kid up in Oregon? The Dylan Gabriel.
Has it, sir? It just
you're right.
He's good, but it has to be one of those. It has to be Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty. It has to be. These two are playing just ridiculous football right now, and my edge would be Travis Hunter. Oh. It just playing both sides of the ball at an elite level. If you took away one side of the ball for him, he'd still be in the running for the Heisman. He'd still be in pick one. Pick one. Putting them both together, He is the Shohei Ohtani of college football,
Yeah.
and just most valuable. You can't take him off the field and think that Colorado was still the same team. They're not, and it's not even close. Please, let's take away the quarterback bias. But that's what I got. We got other segments. We got to get into some things. We got to keep moving. Let's do it.
You know what? And with that being said, there's been another edition of the Be Live Top 5. Looking at my phone because my watch broke. The clasp on it broke. Guess what time it is?
Time for our favorite portion of the show?
Oh,
think it
you
is.
guessed it. It's time for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. With that being said, hey, yo, button, hit it. Choice of the voice coming at you right here, like bad breath in the morning on the Sports Bros Podcast.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful Ann. Come on, Scotty, Ann.
Ever so lovely, Miss Button.
For introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. This is the part of the show where we ask y'all a question, you give us the answer. Be Live gathers the information like a hunter and a gatherer that he is, compiles the list, sends it to me, and I read it, and we talk about it right here on the Sports Bros Podcast. Scotty D, what's on Tickety Tap? Choices of the voices.
Well, over the Halloween week, I got you thinking about what is your favorite scary movie or scary movie franchise. So we stepped away from sports on the topic for the week and had a couple spooky answers there. Eddie, cool.
Spooky. She got a spooky booty. Anyways, let's get into it, all right? Our Hall of Famer Uncle Maxie says Ghost Story. Incredible cast and story. And he watches it every Halloween. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never seen that movie before.
I don't know that one either.
All right.
But
Trey,
we have 51 weeks to catch it.
Yep.
For next
No, we
Halloween.
don't.
Yeah.
we got Trey Dizzle's answer, but I'm gonna say the best for last, of course, because I like this one. Jackie Wilkin, what's up, Jackie? Jackie says Night of the Living Dead, the original.
Old school Night of the Living Dead.
Yep. The best name in the game, Jojo Comfort says the original Poltergeist. Yep. And Stan Sagely or Sagely. Is it Sagely or Sagely, Be Live?
Don't ask me that. I'll report back to you.
Our man Stan, he says the Evil Dead series. With that being said, shout out to Uncle Max, Jackie Wilkin, Jojo Comfort, and Stan, our man Stan. But before we go, we got one more. We got to say
I
the
want
best
to say
for
it's
last.
Sagley.
Sagley. Okay,
I
we'll
think
roll
it's
with Sagley.
Sagley.
Oh yeah, hold
Sagley.
on before you read that. I also had a couple given to me.
Okay.
Moses Braxton, the legend Moses Braxton, now
Moses
singing at the
Braxton.
Carolina Opry Christmas show.
All right.
He says he's a fan of the Saw scary movie series. Saw. And my nephew, Jack DeFala, who I'll be talking about, I want to mention a little bit later on. He goes with Halloween. He likes the Halloween series.
Okay. All right. Our final answer, Trey Dizzle, he says the scariest movie for me is The Signing of Dak Prescott 2024. It's about an elderly, senile man who gets conned out of millions of dollars by a narcissistic man suffering from delusions of grandeur. And then every Sunday, he slowly and methodically burns down everything the man has ever worked for while somehow convincing the old man that he's doing him a favor. It's a really chilling movie and control about elder abuse. The Signing of Dak Prescott.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, it is absolutely a horror show. He's right on the money on that one. Trey, that's some of your best work.
That's a comedy. It's
really
that's
not.
a sitcom.
It's really
Yeah.
not funny.
It is hilarious. To
It's
me.
really not funny.
Hey, directed by the Wayans brothers.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored.
Oh, we gotta stop. We
Give
gotta
me
stop.
a high
We gotta stop.
five.
We gotta stop because they're gonna want some money from that. We ain't. All right, Scotty D, Halloween, what you got? Scary movie, what you got?
Have you guys seen the Terrifier series yet?
Is that on Tubi?
Well, I saw the first one. I haven't seen the second one, and Chris Jericho's in the third one. I'm dying to see 3, but I need to see 2. Yeah, it is on Tubi. The first one's on Tubi. It's disgustingly chilling movie. But anyway, I've always been a fan of the Friday the 13th movies ever since I was a kid. That was my first like foray into spooky movies was Friday the 13th. I remember watching the first one being shaken on my couch, and I just liked all of them after that. Jason just kept coming back. They couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Be Live. Scary movie.
Oh, this is gonna be easy. I don't do scary movies. Eddie Cool.
You don't do scary movies?
Wow.
I could. Okay, you know what? The Saw series. That's about. I think that's the only one I've actually watched, and I think I watched like up to 4, and then I said, "All right, I'm good."
You never saw Nightmare on Elm Street?
Nope.
Halloween?
Nope.
What about Misery? Have you seen Misery?
Nope.
I've seen
I-
that. Ooh,
I ain't watched none
crazy.
of it.
Jaws?
I was who?
Jaws.
Nope.
Jaws. You never saw Jaws?
Nope.
You completely
you-
turned
you-
your back
you
on
will
an
be-
entire genre of movies.
Hey, for what? None of it made no sense to me to watch any of those movies. I wasn't a Halloween fan. I mean, I grew up Southern Baptist. I mean, we just didn't.
I
Hey,
got you. It wasn't on in the house. I got you.
it went on in the house. Nah. Shoot, I didn't even get to watch Harry Potter until I became an adult.
I've still not seen that.
Bits and pieces
Just
of it.
saying.
Bits and pieces. Of it.
I mean, I've seen all 7 movies,
Wow.
but that was when I became an adult.
Harry Potter and the Secret of the Goocher's Goblet. Ain't that one of them? No, I'm joking.
Lord,
I
Jesus.
just pulled a Scotty D. Let's see. Favorite scary movie? The first Blair Witch Project.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Even though it ended weird with a dude in the corner peeing in the corner
Yeah.
and the camera fell to the side, it was like, what the hell happened next? Now, whoever had the idea of making a Blair Witch Project 2, The Book of Shadows, they need to put it in the garbage, because the most memorable line from that entire movie was when the kids went into the woods and the sheriff came out the woods. He said, "Hey, you kids, get out the woods and go home. Ain't no goddamn Blair Witch." And that was the movie for me. You could have cut it off and I would have been fine. But yeah, Book Shadows is one of those movies where it should have never seen the light of day. It should have been directly to DVD and straight to Tubi. With that being said, Scotty D, what's on tap for next week's Choices of the Voices?
Scream? You never saw Scream?
I saw
Be
some.
Live?
Nope.
No Scream. No Jaws movies.
Which one of those movies? I know what you did last summer.
That was a scary
did
one.
That's a
watch
good
that.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I did watch that one and I didn't like it. I'm literally trying to remember any of the like.
Jaws was the one with the shark.
I knew that part.
It had the shark in it.
What, Anaconda?
Yeah. Ice Cube.
Yeah.
That was
and J Lo.
Yeah.
Snakes on a plane.
Oh, that's not horror. And I love me some Samuel L. Jackson, but that was a stupid ass movie.
Okay.
That was god awful.
See,
Don't ever do that no more.
I'm trying to figure out, like, okay,
I'm sick and tired of these snakes on this.
Enough is enough.
yeah, and like it's like snakes on a plane. You stuck on a plane. You can't go nowhere except for the front end and the back end and the middle of the plane to the bathroom. So, anyways, all right.
Cinematic brilliance. All right, on to next week.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so we've had 2 coaches already fired this season. One, I guess we aren't really too surprised the Saints knocked their guy out of the box after 7 straight losses. But I was a little bit surprised when Saleh got his walking papers early in the season. So that begs the question, what NFL coaching firing or player cut or trade do you remember being most surprised about? Most surprising cuts, trades, or coaching firings? And it doesn't mean it had to happen in season, could have happened off season. Just something you were not expecting when it came to the NFL, cutting a player, trading a player, or firing a coach. And that will give us something to talk about next week, Eddie Cool.
Oh, yes, it sure will. With that being said, be live. You know what to do. Go ahead and get to grabbing that pepper grinder, because it's time for a round of pepper. Coming at you right here on the Sports Bros Podcast.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
All right, you heard the woman. It's time for us to go home and get what I call the hell out of here. But first, before we go, a round of pepper. You know how we do it. 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really here to engage, enlighten, educate, and entertain. With that being said, I'll go first. On this day in history, back in 1977, the NCAA single game passing record was set at 571 yards. And the quarterback, Mark Wilson of Brigham Young. That record probably has been broken since
Him?
then, but the thing about it is 571 yards. You got to think about it now. He probably would thrive in today's game. Yeah, if Kirk Cousins threw for 500 yards, then yeah, he probably would thrive in this game as well too. Over to you, Scotty D.
All right, so it was tough sledding for the Yanks there last week. Just whenever it looked like they had a little hope, Garrett Cole pitching well, Judge starting to hit home runs. They had the 5th inning in Game 5, and everything came unraveled. The Yanks went down. The Dodgers, who really were truly the best team in baseball this year, won the World Series. And while I was prepared to talk about Garrett Cole opting out of his contract, I don't know if you guys saw this. He's changed his mind. He's staying with the Yankees on the original 4-year, $144 million deal he had remaining on his contract. And I was going to say to the Yankees, don't do that. Don't pick that up. It's an irrelevant point now, but Cole's 34, and he did pitch well in his 2 World Series games this year, but he's 34 years old, and you really want to pay for the production you're getting coming up, not what you've already done. And a big price tag is coming down the pike for Juan Soto, who said after the World Series game, he will listen to all 30 teams. And then he said, wait a minute, never mind. What am I thinking? The Pirates aren't coming for me. I will listen to 29 teams. Yeah. So Be Live, over to you.
Oh man. I saw that on Gary Cole's like, woo. Like, who was gonna pay him more than $35 million?
They are going to discuss an extension at a later time.
What type of extension? You said he's 34. He's already got 4 more years. What more of an extension does he want?
I don't know what the opt-out was going to add an additional season of $36 million, but for whatever reason they decided not to go with that route. So I have to read more into that, but that's what I got.
Contracts. I need to read more into that as well. I need to learn more on how these contracts work because I have no earthly idea.
That's why we got to call our friend Joel Turner.
That yes, that is a thing. That's definitely a thing. My first pepper point. Speaking of opting out, there's a high school in Huntsville, Alabama that just needs to opt out of having a football program.
Oh,
Columbia High School in Huntsville, Alabama, just recently finished their high school football season with yet another loss, bringing their active streak of losses to 91 games.
No.
They have not won a game in high school football since 2015.
Shit.
Almost sounds like the Carolina Panthers. Oh, boy.
Almost.
Columbia High School in Huntsville, Alabama. I don't know what to tell you. That's just, Eddie Cool. The ball.
Oh, I feel bad for those kids. How do you get them to come out for football?
You gotta look. You gotta think it like this. However, wherever they allow you to play varsity, yeah, somebody's been playing their whole varsity career and they don't know how to spell the word win.
I just don't know how you get somebody to come out for. I guess promise a starting position.
just don't talk about it.
Yeah,
you get to suit up. You get to just don't think about it. Don't mention it or something.
Yeah,
like.
Poor kids.
All right. With that being said, speaking of some kids and some winners, college basketball is starting, and the ladies are taking care of business overseas as Juju Watkins and USC they hold off Mississippi Ole Miss. All right, on the opening day of the UI play events in Paris. All right, so according to ESPN, the Trojans barely trailed until the 5:22 mark when the Rebels rallied to make their first lead of the second half. Ole Miss led 64-60 with 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining, but USC hit its final 8 free throws to seal the win. And I'm pretty sure you're wondering, what did Juju Watkins do? 27 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 blocks. But she committed 9 turnovers. Now, USC's transfer, Kiki Iriafanen, who transferred from Stanford this season, she hit the winning foul shots with 9 seconds left to play, and she finished with 22 points. KK Deans led Ole Miss with 19 points, including 4 3-pointers. Now, BeLive Monday's game schedules include 16 games that featured AP top 25 teams, including South Carolina Gamecocks, and they take on Michigan in Las Vegas. Basketball is here, fellas. Over to you, Scotty D.
Micah Parsons has a podcast.
Oh no,
it's not the Sports Bros, but it's a podcast nonetheless. And he had Trayvon Diggs on the other day, and they were talking about Jaden Daniels, and they were ranking Jaden Daniels. Like, where should we put him? He's like top 10. He might be top 5. I said, okay, well, who we got in the top 5? So they started rattling off names: Matthew Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Then they start saying, well, Jared Goff's balling out. You know who else is balling out? Jalen Hurts. You know who else is doing? Sam Darnold. So that's 8 guys they named. Guess whose name didn't come up?
Dak.
The guy on their team never said the name Dak. So I ask you, how big of a loss is a guy with a bad hamstring and bad hand for the next 4 weeks on a team whose players don't even think he's that good? BeLive, over to you.
Speaking of spotty quarterback play, I'll loop back into it real quick, but this is more about the Las Vegas Raiders, because they are now the only team that this one quarterback has not lost to. Because this past week, Derek Carr became the only quarterback in NFL history to lose to 31 different franchises. No quarterback has lost to all 32. Derek Carr became the only one that's lost to 31 when he finally lost to the Carolina Panthers. Guess who the New Orleans Saints play week 17?
Oh, the Raiders.
They play the Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
I'll
week
tune in
17.
for that bit of history.
Saints versus Raiders. Can the Raiders complete? How was it? All 32 teams? Yahtzee?
Surely you would have thought like Fitzpatrick or Testaverde would have lost to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys bounced around and lost a ton of games.
They did, but not this
fashion. Because the thing about it was the story that came out was like he's lost to 31 teams. I'm like, it has to be the Raiders because that's the team he played for. So that's usually what like someone like Tom Brady would have never lost to the Patriots, even though that short stint with the Buccaneers. But yeah,
isn't he like the only guy that beat all 32 teams? Wasn't Brady?
Yeah, he's beaten. Yeah, Brady is beaten all 32.
Maybe
teams.
Favre did too. I think maybe Favre got them all.
But yeah. No quarterback has lost to every franchise.
That's crazy. Good pepper point there, BeLive.
I like that one.
Derek Carr, he's one away from completing the Yahtzee of National Football League. Eddie Cool, the ball.
You got to think about it. David Carr is known for absorbing the most sacks in a single season, and his brother Derek is about to lose to all 32 things in his career. Oh, that is bad for business. Scotty D, on this day in history, back in 1971, the Los Angeles Lakers, they start the season, they win in 33 straight games. Hasn't been done since. I think Golden State did it. I don't know, but you got to think about it. That's an impressive start.
That's a lot.
Yeah, 33 straight games. Scott, who am I going to? Over to you, Scotty D. Take us home.
All right. So last Friday night, not this past Friday, the week before, 2 Fridays ago, I had the pleasure of being up in the booth to announce my nephew Jack in his last home game for senior night for Trinity. Hard to believe that he's already gotten through a 4-year football career. But yeah, I mean, I'm ordinarily not the PA announcer, but I asked the guy that on that night if he would allow me to do that one, and of course he said yeah. And on that night, Trinity beat Bell Vernon and earned a playoff spot to face Aliquippa this past Friday. They were heavy underdogs, and in that game, they closed the gap late in the third quarter to 21-14. Ultimately, a holding penalty brought that back, and they ended up losing. I think it was 34-14 was the final. And that was my nephew's very last football game, and he is now on to lacrosse. But I think I told you before about when he scored a touchdown as a sophomore, how that was like the greatest moment for me ever as a sports fan.
I remember that. Yeah.
This was my all-time favorite football player who basically just retired on Friday night. So congratulations to my buddy, my nephew, Jack, on a good career, and good luck with lacrosse. Be Live, over to you.
Take us home.
Yes, sir. Third and final pepper point, and I'll make this quick. Columbia versus Yale in football. There's been some ingenious ways that people try to distract the kicker from kicking a field goal or an extra point. Well, the Jumbotron operator for Columbia decided to display a picture of the Wayne Wade statue behind behind the vehicle.
Be Live, you win pepper tonight. You win pepper this episode.
Yeah. Oh man. Stop making whoever made that statue just needs to stop. That was terrible.
That was so bad.
Man.
That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like,
God bless Dwayne Wade. He tried to stand up for the guy and make it seem like so bad. It was terrible. That was awful. I've seen some bad ones too. I think Kobe Bryant had a bad one. This one took the cake. This one was terrible.
Bad. Like Dwayne Wade deserves so much better than that.
Very much so. I look at it like this. Whoever they commissioned to do the statue, they should do it like this. Down the street, they got a place called the Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame. They should take whoever made the bust and have them in charge of the bust. The body, whoever they commission to that, do the body. Whoever you cannot look, I'm not one trying.
Whoever made this bust is a bust.
They busted.
Yeah. I've seen some bad busts too. I think like it was maybe Deion Sanders or somebody had a terrible. Remember Peyton Manning's had like a super large forehead. I know that's a sensitive subject around here, but he had a large forehead.
I'm out. It's over.
So now y'all want okay. And then in closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can't do something nice for someone else, they're greatly appreciated now more than ever. Be a blessing and not a burden. And don't let these two big-headed co-hosts of mine who talk about my forehead. I'm telling you so. There's a lot of brains up in there. It's be your boy Eddie Cool. It's been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. Be Live, take us home. Say it, Be Live, take us home.
Yes, sir.
Hey, look, there's been claims I get defensive easily, and I give a defensive answer. But, yeah, that's neither here nor there. Take care. See you next week. I'm going to enjoy my birthday on Friday. Give your boy some gifts or some good advice or something. Y'all take care. Love you. Bye.
They call him Mega Mind.
You about to be you about to be mega footing your ass. Y'all take care.
Hey, it's Eddie Cool here from the Sports Bros Podcast. Thank you for listening, and as always, continue to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Just click the link in the description box and keep up with the Sports Bros Podcast. And once again, thanks for listening.